Good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Anna Randall from Greater Springfield Senior Services, and I think she spoke to us a while ago at it, maybe.
Several years.
Yeah, she was with a different department. Anna is the current Information and Referral Supervisor at Greater Springfield Senior Services. She's been with the agency for over 10 years, and prior to her current position, she ran the Options Counseling Program. Anna is also a certified dementia practitioner and is on the steering committee for the Springfield Dementia Friendly Coalition. In her free time, Anna enjoys traveling, Broadway musicals, and spending time trying new craft beers with her husband, Joe. She and Joe live out in Westfield. Joe is a investment analyst for Mass Mutual. I think I've heard of him once or twice. And they have one cat. If we could give a warm Rotary welcome, please, to Anna Randall.
Right, thank you for having me. Okay, there we go. Perfect, that works for me. Thank you for having me. Like Bill said, I remember the room. I spoke here several years ago when I was an options counselor with Greater Springfield Senior Services, but I'm happy to come here and talk to you today about my department that I just took over about 3 months ago. I've been with Greater Springfield Senior Services, like Bill said, for 10 years. For those of you who might not know, Greater Springfield Senior Services is a private nonprofit in Springfield, Massachusetts. We are part of a statewide network called the ASAP network. $5 to anybody who knows what an ASAP is. Not you, Bill. Bill. So an ASAP is an aging service access point. So there's 27 of them in the state, which basically means regardless of what town you live in, there's an ASAP that services your town. Greater Springfield Senior Services, we cover 12 cities and towns, including Springfield, and our mission is to maintain the quality of life for older adults, caregivers, and persons with disabilities. So Greater Springfield Senior Services was founded in 1972. Some of the programs that are longer running programs, the Home Delivered Meals Program, which Mary Jenna Kaplan, Bill's wife, runs brilliantly. That's on film. That's on film.
I'll tell you said so.
Okay. And the state home care program, which is subsidized by the state to provide some home health assistance to seniors at home. But the program I'm going to talk about today is the program that I run, which is the Information and Referral Department, sometimes called Intake. So we are the heart, the information hub of our agency. We get about 12,000 calls a year, and about 10% of all of the phone calls per month go to my department. I have 3 full-time staff members, one of whom is fully bilingual in Spanish, and we do a variety of things in that department. One of the main tasks that we complete we are responsible for the intakes for all of the programs that are in our agency. I should say not all. A majority of the programs in our agency, the first stop is our call center. So we take that information from referrals, professional referrals. We make sure that we have all the information that the program needs to make sure that the information is given correctly and that client gets services in an expedited, efficient manner. But we don't just take the information, we also make sure that the referrals are connected to the person. So we want to make sure that that call isn't dropped, that the services are not lapsed or they get kind of lost in the shuffle. With 12,000 calls a year, sometimes that's easy to do, but we really pride ourselves on making sure that we make those connections for our seniors. The other thing we do, I would say about 50% of our calls are professionals looking for services for a client, and then the other half are actually either the elder themselves or the person who needs services themselves or their family caregivers. And they have no idea this is their first foray into services, and they are calling us to kind of figure out what the next couple of steps are going to be. So our staff, we have to have 40 hours of training minimum a year. So we are responsible not only for knowing all the eligibility and ins and outs of the programs that we have in-house, but also all of the programs in the community that might be helpful to our callers as well. So as the elderly generation, I don't know, the silver tsunami or whatever you want to call it, baby boomers ease into our population, there's so many services that pop up every other day. There's a joke that instead of a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner, there's a home care agency on every corner now. So it's our job to make sure that we know what those programs are, because not everybody is eligible for our programs right away. So sometimes they just need a little bit of help at home and they don't qualify for a subsidy, so they're looking for private pay resources. So we kind of help them connect. We want to make sure that we give the person, the caller, some information. We're not just a call center. We want to make sure that they really understand what services are out there. And a lot of times what we have to do is tell them keywords to tell whatever agency we're referring to them, or referring to, what keywords that they need to say. Because it's difficult. It's a very, I know none of you know anything about senior services. You're not at that generation yet. But
7 people in here, I think, Barb, just saying. I was counting earlier.
But in case you don't have, in case you're not aware yet, sometimes those services and those programs can be very difficult to navigate. So a lot of times what it is explaining the eligibility, explaining what programs are out there, and making sure they say the key words to that agency so they get the services. So for example, we tend to holistically kind of go over with the caller what's going on. So we never just want to say, here's a list of assisted livings. We want to delve a little bit deeper into kind of what's going on, because they might not qualify for assisted living, or they might not be appropriate for assisted living. So, we want to make sure that we tailor the information that we're giving to them so that they don't kind of get overwhelmed and give up and then wait for crisis point and call us back, which is about usually what happens. People, unfortunately, don't call us until they need us, which is understandable. But we'd like to try to get people earlier on so that they know what options they have available. Let's see. So in terms of the other tasks that we do, so we take the information, we make the referrals, we connect them with outside agencies, but we are also the information and source for our agency as well. So we have, Bill, you might know this better than me, about 200 employees at Greater Springfield Senior Services. Yeah. When I started 10 years ago, we had about 100, so it's almost doubled in 10 years. So we really want to make sure that those case managers, those people are out in the field and they're, doing the direct care with the consumers, that they also know what programs are out there as well. So we try to make sure that our department is very welcoming. We usually have coffee and food, which tends to draw people in. And we also ask that if they come up with any resources, they're the ones that are out in the field, out at the homes every day. So if they have information, to let us know so that we can add that to our elder guide that we put out every year, and that we have that information to give out to consumers as well. So we really try to make sure that we are really aware of what services are available to our consumers, because it changes all the time. We are also, 3 of us are SHINE trained. So SHINE stands for Serving the Health Insurance Needs of Everyone Who Has Medicare. So Medicare, they make it very difficult to navigate that system. So 2 of my staff and myself included are SHINE counselors, which means we provide free, unbiased information about what Medicare resources are available. We don't get any kickbacks, unfortunately, from Blue Cross Blue Shield or any of the insurance companies. We really do this to make sure that they get the insurance that works for them, and that they really understand what services they can get through their Medicare benefit, what services are not covered by their benefit, so that they have that information going forward, and in a crisis situation, they're better informed about what their options are. We also do extensive work with Mass Health, which is the state Medicaid program. Fortunately or unfortunately, I can do a Mass Health application in my sleep. I don't know if I should put that on my resume, but so unfortunately, Mass Health right now, as of right now, is one of the only insurances that cover long-term support services in the home. So we try to make sure that people are aware of different programs and waivers that they might be able to get on. But we also like to make sure that people know what private pay resource is. So we're not just a subsidized agency. We have people that call that have very little resources and need to be connected with subsidies. And we have people that call that are just looking for what direction to use their private pay resources or long-term care insurance as well. So we're really unbiased in that sense. So we provide the SHINE training over the phone. We also provide the the Mass Health training over the phone. Mass Health moved in their offices right next door to us, which is a blessing in disguise some days. So we can kind of let them know who to talk to over in that office as well. Like I said, we do 40 hours of training for our staff, and we also provide training to the community as well. So if any of your agencies or you have any agencies that need a community speaker, we are able to do that as well on a variety of topics, from what I'm doing today to SHINE, the Medicare piece of it, to specific dementia training, what our ASAP, what our organization does, healthy living programs, those sorts of things as well. My colleague and I are also running a program now called Savvy Caregiver, where it's a free 6-week course for caregivers, family caregivers who are caring for somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia. And we have respite available to their loved one if that's a barrier for them to attend our class. And in the 6 weeks, we go over a variety of topics, including self-care for the caregiver, how to navigate respite services for their loved one, behavior changes, behavior modification, those sorts of things that they could use to better care for their loved one with dementia. So we do that as well. We're running a class at the new Springfield Senior Center in Blunt Park in September. And we've run them, we're available to train, to offer that training to any of our catchment cities, including East Long Meadow. So we'll be happy to do that as well. Let me see. So yeah, so we're really busy. We get, like I said, we get about 10% of all the phone calls every month come to our office. So I promise you that we have heard it all. There's been probably not safe for TV conversations that we have. People asking from everything. I mean, we got a call a couple weeks ago for a woman who was displaced from Puerto Rico due to the hurricane and wanted us to find her dog in Puerto Rico. So we do have magic wands, apparently, but so we were able to give her some resources. There's the ASPCA is running some shelters in Puerto Rico, so we had her, gave her the contact number for those organizations. I mean, we're not able to fix every problem, but our goal is really to give them something so that they felt like they weren't just calling for no reason. So if they're not eligible for a program now, we try to give them some, when X, Y, and Z happens, give us a call back and you might be eligible at that time. So now I'm going to open it up for questions. I didn't get Bill yet, but so.
Question? Okay.
Oh, sure. Whoever.
We'll go first.
Go ahead.
So comment, so when Mom was living with us before her Alzheimer's got bad, I went through Greater Springfield. They came in, did a home evaluation. They were able to send nursing assistants to help her while she was still able to be at the home. When she was no longer able to be safely at home, Greater Springfield helped me set up an adult day program for her, as well as a transportation, because it was 20 minutes out of the way, and able to coordinate with me to get the PBTA little van to come to get her. And then also, when things got worse for us, we're able to suggest some of the nursing homes that dealt with Alzheimer's. So personal experience works well. I give my patients, when I see my adult sleep apnea patients, your information all the time.
Thank you.
To reach out. And
Yeah.
we look you up on the website right there in the office. So there's an active website that patients can go to start researching.
Yeah. We tell people, even if you don't think that you live in our catchment, for example, we don't cover Chicopee, but we sometimes get callers from Chicopee. We're never going to tell you, you need to call West Mass Elder Care. If you have a specific question, we're going to do our best to answer that call. So we tell people, no question is silly. We might not have an answer, but we'll try to answer it or get somebody to answer it if it's a service that's available. So across the spectrum of care, we provide that information.
So how does somebody reach you? A phone number or?
Yes, I have my card. I left them on the table.
Jim,
Now this, right here.
not me.
So you can call Greater Springfield Senior Services Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 413-781-8800 and ask to speak to an information and referral specialist. We get a lot of calls, like I said, so you might have to leave a message, but we will get back to you as soon as possible with hopefully an answer to your question. We also have a great website, www.gssi.org, that you can go to. We have, for professionals, you can go to the left-hand side and click Professional Referral. You can make a referral for any of our programs right online. We also have a updated version of our Elder Guide that we produce every couple of years. So you can you go to the Elder Guide, and the Elder Guide's a great resource. It has information about public benefits, what nursing homes and assisted living, housing, what services are available, and it's interactive. So if you just click on home delivered meals, you can, for your patient or your loved one, you can print that page out directly instead of having to print the whole guide out as well. So, and you had a question?
Well, that was my question, was the
Yeah.
contact information. If we could tell someone to call this number on your card,
Yep,
is that the right number?
absolutely. And you're welcome to email me with questions at any time as well. So,
Okay, any other questions? Anna, thank you
Thank
very,
you.
very much for a very enlightening conversation. I think it's an important topic because, as you know, our senior citizen population is living longer and longer, and certainly does, over time become in need of these type of services. Now, we do have a tradition here at the club when we have a guest speaker of asking them to donate a book to the East Longmeadow Library in their name. At the beginning, we gave you a list of the meeting. We gave you a list to select from, and you have selected It Takes a Village by Hillary Rodham Clinton. And so that will be donated on behalf of you. There'll be a label in the front of the book. We would like to give you this card in
Thank
recognition
you.
of that. And Bill wanted to remind me that it makes a great bookmark.
thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, that brings the meeting to a conclusion. We could have the four-way test, please. Bob, since you're right there, could you go through the four-way test?
Number one, is it the truth?
Is our concerns, will it build goodwill and friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?